This is Karina Barn behind the camera with our new principal flutist, Martha Lom. Welcome to Texas.
Thank you.
Can you talk to us a little bit about how you became a flute player?
Yes, so my sisters and I all started playing piano at about the age of 4. So I started on piano, and after about 4 years of pain and suffering, my parents realized that piano just wasn't going to do it for me. I could never figure out how to read bass clef, and I hated practicing. I mean, like treble clef was not a problem, but bass clef was impossible. And my mom tells me stories about dragging me out from underneath the furniture, trying to make me practice and go to lessons. So anyways, after about 4 years of that, they decided that maybe a treble clef only instrument would lend more success and more, positive feelings towards music. So we went to just a local band store, and I had no idea what I was doing. I was 8 years old at the time, and I chose the flute. And since then, I mean, it's become my voice for musical expression. And it's not actually my favorite instrument. I think viola is my favorite instrument, which is quirky in other ways. But I'm really glad I play it, and I'm glad that I have the opportunity to make music with incredible colleagues.
So when did you decide to become a flute player professionally?
Probably around the age of 12 or 13. I auditioned for my first honor band when I was in 8th grade, and I didn't expect to get in, but I ended up being like one of the top ranked flute players in the state of North Carolina. And I hadn't really realized until that point that this was something that I was good at. It was something that I enjoyed doing, but it turned out that I was also competitive at it. And then I just realized that music challenged me in ways that I enjoyed being challenged, and I kept wanting to grow through music.
So your title is principal flute. Can you tell us what principal means?
Principal means, well, to me, principal means being a leader among equals in the section, because each role in the section is equally important and equally challenging. And I don't think being principal means that you're better or that you get to tell other people what to do. It's just a different role. And so principal, basically, I get to play all the big solos, and I blanked out. So I get to play the first flute parts on these pieces, and if there's a discrepancy in approach to the instrument or style or anything, I think it's my job to sort of consider all the angles and suggest a unified approach, but definitely never to tell people exactly what to do. It is definitely a leader among equals.
Can you talk to us a little bit about the audition process here in San Antonio?
The audition process in San Antonio was pretty grueling. I actually took the audition in January when no one was hired, and then I came back in June. And just the repertoire that they requested for us to play was incredibly comprehensive. And I remember in every single round that I played between January and June, the committee managed to pick like the meanest combination of pieces and excerpts. And I remember playing each round just thinking like, oh, that was so mean. And so I played 4 rounds this past June, and again they managed to find like the most challenging combinations. And all 4 rounds were behind a screen, so it was kept anonymous, which is really important. And I just remember, after each round I would write what I had played and what I wish I could do differently if I had another chance to play. And so eventually I got to the point where I was pretty comfortable in my playing, but I just wanted to really play the music instead of worrying about playing the flute correctly.
So the people in the audience will notice that you have a different colored head joint to your flute. Can you
Yes.
Talk to us a little bit about that.
So my flute, the body of my flute is silver, and then my head joint is grenadilla wood. It's the same kind of wood that oboes and clarinets are generally made out of, and flutes traditionally for hundreds of years were actually made out of wood. They weren't really made out of metal until like the late 1800s, and it's just become a thing now where people have like the most expensive, the most blinged out flutes possible, and that's not necessarily the best sound, and it's not necessarily the best fit for everyone. So I got that head joint about 5 years ago when I was looking to make a change, and it was the right choice for me, and it happened to be a lot cheaper than a gold head joint or a platinum head joint or whatever else is out there.
And last question, what are you most excited to play this season?
Oh, I am so excited to play Brahms 3 actually, because I've played the other Brahms symphonies several times each, but I've never done Brahms 3, and I think it sort of gets overlooked because it ends quietly, and so audiences don't really go crazy at the end because it's not a big finale. It sort of dies away a little bit at the end, but it's such an incredible and moving piece of music, and I'm really excited for the entire Brahms festival, but especially the Third Symphony.
Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to us today, Martha, and we look forward to hearing you this season.
Thank you.